Sorry, I don't know. My headset's not working. So I'll be right back. Oh, you can hear me. I can't hear. Mr. Alex. Sorry. Oh, I hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, now I hear you.
Yeah, it was trying to use the wrong the usual thing. It was just like, oh, I'm going to use the camera in your laser cutter as a microphone. It's like, what?
So, well, the thing is, this is a new pair of headset. I just got them today. I was like, oh no, it's not working.
Well, I was like, I know I'm not muted. So, because it's like, wasn't muted on the stream, it wasn't muted on my mic and everything. It's just like, inevitably then it's usually StreamYard has done something stupid, like thinking, oh, I'll use this unassociated camera as the microphone, obviously. You know. Anyway, welcome everybody. Take two. Okay, take two. In fact, there we go. Let's welcome everybody to this week's Man's Model Moments Meet. Man's Model Moments Midweek Model Meet Mark II. And let me take no time at all in welcoming Marcus to the stream.
Hey, good to be here. Thank you, Alex.
Now, live, you all saw that. In the replay, I can edit that out.
Oh, great.
So anyway, there wasn't a screw up at all. This is all perfectly normal. Anyway, cheers everybody. I'm drinking the remnants of James Gin. It's very, very good.
There you go.
Maria likes it as well, and she doesn't like gin. So
perfect.
More
for you.
So I'm thinking of getting the California Dream Gin, and I might actually go for the Asian Parsnip as well. So it's very good. It's very good. Maybe I should sell it in the shop.
Don't you need kind of a liquor license for that?
Shush you.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Shush you and your laws.
Well, I don't need them. I'm just saying. I'm just looking out for you, boy.
Anyway, let's have a little look who is in chat. We've got Graeme Bull, we've got Edward Williams, we've got Adrian Hook, we've got Pete McDubbs, we've got Polygon, we have Drew, we have Graham Green, we've got Black Skunk Works, we have Ian Ellison, we've got Craig Dukes, we've got Keith. Scrolling down, we've got Julian Hall. People saying no sound. Yes. I don't know what you're talking about. Everything was perfect from the beginning of the stream, as we were saying.
Until I showed up. I get it. Yeah,
yeah, it was all Mark's fault. Don't know what happened. Johnny Swift, we got Barry Ziegler. So some names I am not recognizing, which is always good to see. We've got Casey. Casey, you still on holidays or are you back now? You're on holidays. I hope they're going well. If you're back, I hope it was a good one. We got John Christmas. We got Jonex. And that brings us up to the present. Craig said there is room for a couple more M's in there. Probably is. There might be by the end of the stream after drinking more of this. So I did invite. So unfortunately, I did invite a couple of other people who can't make it tonight. John Alec, I believe, may pop in as well. But sadly, we saw the passing of a couple of greats over the past week. Ozzy Osbourne, of course, died a few days ago. And a little before that, one a little bit more relevant to the model world. And let me just hide that. Present this. Oh, I'm not hiding the comment. There we go. So this is from the Tamiya blog. In memoriam, Mr. Shunsaku Tamiya. So, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Shunsaku is or was the, I think, chairman of Tamiya, and he was the son of Yoshiro, who founded the company. But Mr. Shinsaku was the one who really pioneered the plastic part of the hobby. So like the move to plastics, and really the whole precision and accuracy that the company is well known for now. So even more than the founder of the company, he was probably more directly responsible for the Tamiya plastic model kits that we all know, and that sort of equality of the name Tamiya with quality, consistency, easy to put together kits with high levels of detail. That was very much part of his, obviously his father's mantra was very much in the detail and creation of that. And Mr. Shunsaku put that into kind of the plastic, pushed that part of the hobby. So I thought it would be appropriate for us to talk a little bit about his legacy, which is really that plastic model part of the company, and what it means for us and what it's going to be like going on. Because obviously there has been speculation of late with Tamiya perhaps not releasing as many injection molded plastic kits and focusing on the RC side of things a little bit more about what that will look like in the future. So I thought it was worth a discussion at least. So he was 90 years old. He did get a good old innings in, and I believe was active pretty much up until the end. So yeah, he was chairman of the board, and had a private family ceremony. Born in 1934, so he grew up through World War II. It's quite sobering when you have this. I had a chap in the shop who was born at a similar time. He flew Lancasters after the war and then transitioned into the Vulcans. He's been in the shop a couple of times. Still walking about, no walking stick, no like mobility scooter or anything. Just he drove himself. He actually came in and said, "Am I okay? I'm illegally parked at the moment. Where's the parking?" It's just like, good on you.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, there's a little. So if you go on the Tamiya blog, there is this little synopsis of his sort of life in the company, and obviously his obituary there. And there's lots of other places on the internet that you can find similar things. So, so for yourself, Marcus, what has Tamiya meant for you in your kind of modeling, recent modeling years, I'd say?
Okay, recent modeling year. Tamiya has meant for me, it's meant to me very good kits, very much, because I have never been into the difficult part of the end spectrum, right? So for me, a Tamiya kit has always been a great base. It's always been a go-to when you feel down, when you feel like I don't know what to do. No, I'll build a Tamiya kit because it embraces you. It wants you to succeed. That's what it does, right? It doesn't put obstacles. It doesn't put anything in between you and the finishing of the build. Apart from putting it together, the painting and stuff like that, that's up to you. But the build part of it has always been great to me. And that's what I like with Tamiya.
Yeah, I think I first came to Tamiya kits in the 90s. Sorry, I'm just being brought a...
Another one?
This is the sourdough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
Pablo.
I'm being served.
It's not the best girlfriend in the world, but do I have the best girlfriend in the world?
I think you do. I think you do.
fresh sourdough bread.
Oh my god! Homemade or bought? I think that's the.
Good. It's not homemade because we have quite a large. Sorry, talking with my mouth full. But not homemade, but we have a large Lidl in Wincanton. So they have a bakery, right? All the Lidl stores have a bakery, so they bake in house. So you get fresh bread without any of the nonsense of having to use a bread maker or do it yourself or anything. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. Their sourdough is pretty good. They also do I can't remember what it is. It's like a gluten-free. No, it's not gluten-free. I can't remember what it is, but it's like a seeded roll, and it's got like it's really crusty outside, and it's just super nice. It's like fluffy. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Bread and cheese, the two of the simple pleasures in life. Added alcohol, you kind of get everything.
It's all about grain, isn't it?
Yeah, I can do without grapes. Grapes are good. If I had to choose between the two, grain's got you covered on a lot of things.
Cheers.
That completely threw me where I was going. So Tamiya kits, I came to, I think for the first time in the 90s, late 90s, when there was a local model shop that was closing down, and model shops closing down and opening up has happened since time immemorial, as other things. So it's not that the hobby was dying back then. It's just normal thing. And it was closing down. It was selling off a load of kits, and people were saying, "Oh, these Tamiya kits are like half price or whatever." And I bought a whole bunch of them on other people's recommendations. I'd never done any before. And the thing is, most of those I've still got, because at the time I looked at them and thought, these are too good for where I am as a modeler at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, not that they're too good. It's just like I felt that I wanted to give more to them than I felt I was able, which I think is a mistake that a lot of modelers make.
Yeah.
I've gone back and, a lot of those kits, like I had the Bow Fighter, what is it? The float plane one. I can't remember what it's called. Shiden, something like that. Fabulous kits. I mean, even, you think 1990s kits can be hit and miss. I mean, it looks like a CAD. I don't know whether they were using CAD for those kits at the time, but it looks like a CAD produced kit, in the mid to late 90s. So that precision, the dedication to quality, it's got delicately engraved panel lines. It's got lovely recessed rivets. It was back then recognizably to my inexpert eye, because I didn't really do these are 148 scale, and I didn't really do 148 scale back then, and it was kind of like, yeah, I need to, the kit's giving me a lot, I feel I need to give the kit back as well, which you don't really need to do. but that was the feeling that it gave me, which is, I think, quite telling by itself. Yes, you can just build it out of the box, and I would recommend people do that. Don't wait until you feel you're good enough. I think that is a trap.
I think for me, Tamiya, if I ever fall into a rut, a Tamiya kit usually kind of brings me out of it, because it doesn't, as I said before, it doesn't give you any issues. It'll just, ta-da, there you go. It's a nice build, right? So
yeah, I mean, it was kind of brought things into focus for me as well, because I found out about this yesterday. I think he actually died on 5 days ago, but it was only put out on the Tamiya blog yesterday, 22nd. And obviously the Japanese are, as a culture, quite reserved compared to Western equivalents, certainly compared to the US. So that's understandable, and even such very high profile, obviously quite wealthy man. It was a private family ceremony, all very understandable, recognizable things.
Yeah.
There's a time for personal grief, and then there's the kind of outward looking thing. So yeah, I heard about it yesterday, and that was in the last couple of days. I've been writing the script for the airfix Stalwart. So full build video on that. It's already up on the channel. It'll be out tomorrow, 7:30. There's a premiere.
Nice.
It's already there, so you can go and make sure you don't miss it. as I teased before, I showed the thumbnail. In fact, can I get the thumbnail here? I think I probably can. If I can do that, I will. So I teased the thumbnail on the private member stream, I think it was, on Sunday, just to see if anybody would get the reference. You a SpongeBob fan, Marcus?
Well, not really. Well, I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just saying it's not really my. Never was in my wheelhouse, or in my thing. More my son, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I know SpongeBob. Obviously, it was through. I didn't go and deliberately seek out SpongeBob.
Well,
it was kind of forced upon me.
You might sound like it.
So, just closing the wrong thing here. So, just let me present this. Oh, first of all, though, let me welcome in John Alec. Welcome, John.
Hi, Alec.
There he is.
Hi, Mark.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. And hello, everybody in chat. Yeah. It's a good topic tonight, Alex. Yeah.
So let me just
Good to see you.
get this window.
Good to see you too, John.
So this is the thumbnail that I teased, and this is the thumbnail for the video.
Swell.
So if you know SpongeBob and you recognize that, then you kind of know what the stalwart is going to be like. So I wanted a stalwart that looked like no other stalwart to be a bit memorable. There are other reasons that I did it in that, but full build review is out tomorrow. And I mean, it's no secret, right, that the stalwart has its issues.
It didn't have that many issues, though.
Well, but the thing is, they are not big issues,
No.
right? You can make a beautiful stalwart out of that kit. The problem, without what's keeping my powder dry for the premiere, is it's a lot of cumulative niggles, right? It's not one big thing. It's not like they've screwed up one big element of the kit which ruins it. No, that's not true. But there's a lot of little things, and it's just like, and they're not all the same. There's lots of little different things, and cumulatively they kind of start to suck some of the joy out of it, and most of them, I will say, most of them are QC production issues.
Yeah.
Right. And if you remove those, I actually scored it two ways. I scored it properly, and then I scored it if all those QC issues, and the QC issues affect the build and are the source of most of that pain. If you take those out, it changes the scoring a lot. And it's like, and that's the thing. And I think for me, the reason that Tamiya have been thought of as the gold standard for so long is because they have consistency.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that's very important.
And it goes a long way. And I was also thinking, I was watching again the Airfix and Chill. I couldn't be on Airfix and Chill on Monday. I was watching back some of it today. Doing that thing where you're just like, no, I want to butt in, but it's a recording. No, you missed your chance, Alex. It was like a lot of the stuff on that Airfix release, they did say a big surprise is coming. Look out for something big. They built it all up, and then it was.
I'm still waiting for the surprise, but yeah,
a Rebox, and it was just like, that's it. It's like managing expectation. Tamiya are very Japanese in that respect, right? There's zero fanfare. They release a kit,
Yeah.
They could do a new tooling of the most wanted kit in the world, and it would be just like, Tamiya releases the new thing that everybody's been wanting. 1/35th scale, it's the best kit ever. That would be the announcement, and then everybody would be blown away because it's like, oh my God, they didn't say it was like this and this and this. It's like, no, because that's
They expect themselves to be the best, right?
Yeah, that's right. They hold themselves that standard. They don't have that. if you like, very American marketing culture.
Yeah.
Whereas Hornby seem to have the American marketing culture, but they haven't backed it up. So again, it's that it just highlighted the differential, and in this conversation, it kind of made it a little bit more obvious. But anyway, what do you think, John? What's been your experience with Tamiya over the year? And I'm asking you that purely so I can eat some more of this bread.
Oh, good. We live vicariously through you. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been married 31 years, and that's never happened to me.
No, for me either. You know, it's like
I'm expecting an egg sandwich at some point.
Oh, rub it in. So, Tamiya for me was like an epiphany. So, you know, I'm edging towards, I am late 50s. And so I grew up in the States building Monogram and Revell. That was built. And so Tamiya kits for me at the time, they were the creme de la creme, right? So, and I knew even as like, you know, kind of junior high or even high school, if I bought a Tamiya kit, it was going to be fantastic, right? So that's how I kind of treated myself. And they had really interesting subjects, and everything was good. And they have kept that, you know, what, almost 40 years later, right?
Yeah.
And their products and their paints and their, you know, their new cars are just so state of the art. You know, if you just want the best, maybe Aoshima are also really good, but it's just incredible how decade after decade after decade they've kept up that quality standard where you just absolutely know I'm going to buy that kit and it's going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I worked for a Japanese company for just over 5 years, and I've mentioned this before on the stream. The QC of those products was second to none. 5 years as a product manager, I didn't have a single out-of-box failure.
Wow.
Which I can tell you, having worked for American companies as well, is not a universal experience.
No.
But
Sorry.
But if that's the standard that you are used to, then, you know, it's a very high bar. And I think they have held themselves to that high bar, because if you look at a 1960s Tamiya kit, you know, the Panther A. The Panther A is a 1960s kit, and today it isn't able to hold its own against a Mini Art or a Meng or whatever. But at the time, if you take any other 1960s kit and compare it to that, the Tamiya kit is, as you said, John, state of the art. It is way better than anything else. And you can still build a good kit today of it. It's probably state of the art for most companies up until probably the 80s. You know, there probably weren't companies until the 80s, edging into the 90s, that were making kits consistently of that kind of quality. And the thing is, Tamiya didn't just rest on their laurels with that. By the 80s, they were making kits that, you know, people haven't matched until the late 90s, early 2000s. So they've always pushed themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I kind of finished my comment.
Yeah, all right. No, I was just going to comment on what you said. I think they're on the forefront, and they're the market leaders in terms of kits that are really good. That's what I think. And I think a lot of companies try to live up to that standard, which is, it seems, it's not impossible, but a lot of companies come close, but it's never the same feeling. I don't know how else to explain.
They're the benchmark.
Yeah, exactly, right.
So let me just go through. We've had a few comments. I just want to make sure we're keeping relatively up to date. So I'm going to leave Julian's comment there till later, because I think that's a really good point. But I kind of want to come to that at the end. However, a relevant comment, because I am rapidly running out of this glass.
Oh, you need to refill.
Is
Ian
that the end of
Ellison.
it?
Ian Ellison, I've got probably 1 or 2 more glasses. I got some London Drizzle. Now, what do I mix it with? You should mix it with just straight tonic. Don't go for fancy tonics. I saw a couple of reviews, actually. I saw James May reviewing people who had reviewed his gin. And people are universally basically saying you don't put anything other than straight tonic, either diet or full fat, depending on what your preference is. Don't try anything fancy. You'll muddy the flavors of it. It's the gin is the hero. So you don't want to be detracting from that. So straight Indian tonic water, slice of lemon for London Drizzle. You're good. Same with Asian parsnip. I believe the California Dream Gin doesn't straight tonic water, but don't like put any. I think it was suggested cucumber, but not like fruit. It's already quite sweet. So,
Cucumber, yeah.
So yeah, don't mess with it too much. It doesn't need it.
Good.
So
a good gin shouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Casey said, Tamiya is a great build experience. Questionable color matches. True. Quite good airbrush paints and limited pigment set, but I absolutely understand the limitations. Also, I want sourdough. It's all mine. Julian says, in effect, Tamiya let the kits do the talking, hence their understated announcement. Other companies have to talk up their kits because the kits themselves don't. Yeah, and I think that is a very Japanese approach. I don't think this is just Tamiya. I think it is a cultural thing. So, I mean, John, you mentioned Aoshima there.
Yeah.
Aoshima do some stunning kits. Aoshima have been around a long time as well. They're not as present in other markets. I think they've mainly focused on their home market, which is, again, a very traditional Japanese kind of approach. So, in a way, I think in Japan, Tamiya are probably viewed as the outgoing, the sort of more westernized company in the fact that they are very global. Whereas, and probably Hasegawa are as well, a little less so. Whereas Fujimi, Aoshima, Doyusha, there's a lot of Japanese companies still that have been around for quite a long time in modeling. And they tend to have their strength in the Japanese and Southeast Asian markets and not so much globally. The global markets are definitely a secondary. I think Tamiya are probably the one exception that has Tamiya, and I'd say to a second degree Hasegawa, are extremely strong. Are affect household names in the modeling community globally. And I think across the board there, they do very much like, here is a product. It's the best in its class, so you will buy it. That's a very Japanese German kind of sales approach. It isn't the
Japanese German.
There's no surprise that a lot of Japanese companies have their European headquarters in Germany, because the two nations have a very similar psyche. They're very engineering heavy, very numbers based, and it is the German sales approach is basically, hello, Mr. Customer, I have a glass here. You can see it is superior to the glass you already have. So, how many would you like to buy? Because you wouldn't buy an inferior product, right?
No, of course not.
Whereas to the average American or Brit, that's just like, but I've already glass that does the job. I don't need your fancy glass. Tell me why I should, which we see. It is a real cultural difference. If you look at airfix, if you look at Monogram and Revell, the Western-based companies have had that approach.
Yeah.
Right or wrong as that may be, I think that's another stream. Greg says, I've been watching the Stalwart Saga, or Stalwart Gate, maybe.
That might be better. Star Wars Gate, yeah.
I get that the kit's problems may be small to the more expert modeler, but I'll be honest, if I'd spent 40 quid on it, I would not be happy. Watch the review tomorrow, Greg. I try to be, as I always try to be, pragmatic and balanced about it. And I try to approach it in a way that would show you both sides of that coin, both that it has some issues and it can be a nice kit. It was actually, I would say, of all the kits that I reviewed from any manufacturer, really, it's one of the hardest ones I got to in conclusion in terms of what do you do as a recommendation here? Because it's like, it's easy when it's crap, right? Because you're just like, don't buy this, it's too expensive. For what you're getting, it's rubbish. Or on the other side, it's really easy when it's really good. It's just like, I really enjoyed this build. For the price, it's a real bargain. I don't have any hesitation in recommending it. Whereas you get one which is just like 6 2/3 or 6 1.5 dozen of the other, as they would say. It's like, well, what do I do? It's like, I don't know. So, yeah. But I completely get the point, Greg.
It does get enough flack, in my opinion. Though it does get a lot of flack. I don't know.
We'll see. Graeme Bull says, I build mainly World War II German armour, and even kits tooled in the 70s match, if not better, some of the new tools released in recent years by some manufacturers. Yeah, and I think that's a fair point. I mean, I went back to some of those 90s kits, 1/48 scale aircraft, right? The Beaufighter. That Beaufighter I sell in the shop. I can't remember how much it is now. Let me just have a quick look on my website. So the Tamiya 1/48 scale Beaufighter, right, which is a pretty big aircraft, two-engined 48 scale. It's a chunky kit, and it's a beautiful kit. That's £24.
Oh, that's wow.
It's nothing.
That's cheap.
That
is,
like 30
yeah. Come on.
And it's just like the pleasure that you can get out of that kit, building it straight out of the box. Fantastic. And you can also, if you want to, go nuts on it and add a whole bunch of other stuff. I would suggest it's not worth it on a Beaufighter because you can see nothing inside the complete waste of time, but
Yeah, I spent all that time on the inside, the rear compartment and all that kind of stuff. You can't see any of that. But yeah.
Craig has it is obvious that Carlsberg do girlfriends in your house, Alex.
Apparently so. Wow, very jealous.
I am jealous as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell her, it'll make her very happy.
Oh, here, Alex, have some food.
Only thing my wife brings me are the bills. That's it.
Hey, Zoe.
Oh, look.
Oh, Zoe.
All right,
Did
I'll
she
get
get some treats?
She wants an ice cream. Yeah, there you go. All right.
Indiara and Simon says, just working on a Tamiya motorbike now while listening to dated 1981. Not the best, but still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, consider 1981 tooling, right?
Holy shit.
That is 44 years old.
That's when Dragon Slayer came out, man. Excalibur. Yeah.
I will do my usual Scalemates trick here and get the stream to work properly. Let me just take this across there. So if I go to Scalemates and let me show you guys the magic. Scalemates, the way that I generally use Scalemates is if you go up to the top here with kits and you just press search, it will get every kit that it has on Scalemates. You can choose kits, and then you can scroll down on this section. I usually do relevance because it has the more relevant pieces. You can choose static model kits, which is basically what we want, because it also has decals and accessories and all that kind of stuff. We're not interested in that. Physical, to get rid of any 3D data files. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff. If I scroll down to when things were released. So let's now have a little look and go down. And at this point, you can change it to A to Z, because then we'll get a historical listing, I should say. If I go to 1981, let's go to 1981. And we can see what was being produced in 1981 by other manufacturers. And let's just see what Airfix were doing. The SA330 Puma in 1/72 scale. Now, if anybody has built this kit, because it has been released a fair few times since, I think we can see that. Many times. The latest is a vintage classic just this year. This is not a great kit. So, again, these are the contemporaries, but I'm being a little unfair because those aren't new toolings. So let me get new tools.
Yeah.
New tools. Let's see what Airfix was doing. New tools in 1981. Okay. Okay, we have several kits here, none of which I believe are in the current inventory. The 1/48 scale Stuka has been replaced, retooled. The F-18 Hornet. Has anybody built that kit?
I've never seen it before.
Apparently, it was released. Oh, as part of the Top Gun Maverick thing. Yeah, that was.
Oh, really? That one?
Yeah.
Huh.
The Super Jolly Green Giant only been released a few times, this kit. But I think you get where I'm coming from here in terms of if you look at the contemporary kits that were being produced at the time when Tamiya released anything, you know, we just talked about a 1981 motorbike. What was being produced by other kit manufacturers, not really in the same league.
No.
So let's get rid of Airfix. Let's have a look at Revell. Hella made some. This was back in the time when Hella were actually making new tools. Imagine that.
Holy smoke. That's like before the Common Era.
Okay, one of them is the 1/72 Javelin T3. I have made this kit. It is appalling. So
not bad, huh?
It's not good. It's not good. Funnily enough, it was reboxed by Airfix, which is another thing. Yeah, it was. I think the one I have is a Hella Humbrol edition release of it. Not a great kit, unless you like filling and sanding, in which case it's fantastic. The Saab Sophia, I think that's been released a fair few times since. Yes, it has.
Beautiful kit. Beautiful aircraft. Sorry.
Yeah, and they did do a bike.
Oh, wow.
The 1/8 scale BMW 100 RT.
Oh, wow.
Looks like that has not been released for a long time. But yeah, you kind of get where I'm going with all of this. Let's look at Revell, just to give us some more context.
Yeah, the Revell, the German stuff, Revell Germany. Like I did their 251 Stuka Zufus. That was one of the best kits I've ever dealt with. It was just absolutely fantastic. It was like skill level 5 or something, but
Revell had this. Revell's an interesting one to have a discussion about one day, because Revell had this time just in the kind of early 90s to about 2005-ish, I think. Sometime in the early to mid noughties, where they had this kind of renaissance, where they really invested in their tools and they did a whole load of really good stuff. And then they kind of lost that, and then they went bust, and then they kind of went into this rhythm of recycling stuff, reboxing stuff, which they've always done and been very dishonest about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they still sell the 172nd TA152, which is a kit from the dawn of time, and it was bad when it was made. I've made a decent 152 from it, and it is almost scratch built. But yeah, oh, look at that. We got another Sikorsky.
Oh, look.
Must have been the flavor of the time. The Jeep Honcho.
Oh, God. Yeah, look at that. Oh, sorry.
That's like the Magnum PI.
I don't care about the kit. I just want the fucking car. You know.
That's a hairy chest and handlebar must.
I want to drive that thing.
I mean, that is very much of its time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll drive it every day of the week today. You know, sorry.
But I mean, just look at if you can see the detail of those lights, they're just flat pieces of plastic.
Yeah, I would replace those. I would.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh dear. So yeah, I mean but that wasn't uncommon. Contemporary early 80s.
Oh, that is so of its time. It's ridiculous. You know, it's like yeah.
And bear in mind that's 1/25th scale. This isn't like 1/43rd or 1/35th. It's they've got the scale to play with things here. So yeah. Whereas let's just see if we can.
But I used to build that stuff, right? So I was. In 1980, I was 12, right? So, I'm 13, 14. Magnum PI is on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
man. Classic.
Yeah, whereas, here we go. They got a whole bunch of bikes.
Oh, yeah. Their bikes are fantastic.
Yeah, and I've done some contemporary bikes from this period from Tamiya. And, I mean, apart from the fact that, and this is guilty of manufacturers today, chroming parts and dealing with chrome parts is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Which is actually where I worked. Well, no, I can't spoil things. Stop it out.
Come on.
Gaggle. And hey, the dinosaurs still going today.
Dinosaur.
And they sell very well, these dinosaurs, actually.
They do. They do. Even I have been sort of looking at them. I was like,
But it's I would say there's some of the Tamiya kits I have to replace most frequently. So I've got a Tamiya order which should release in a couple of days because they got a new container coming in. I need to add to it because I've sold almost all of my dinosaurs in the intervening period.
Well, I'm going to have to look into your shop then, Alex, and see what's in there. Just saying.
That's a weird looking thing.
Actually, it's not. I remember that one. Actually,
oh my god, 1/6 scale. Holy crap, that's going to be. I mean, not big, but because it's a tiny bike. But
oh, the Kawasaki.
Yeah, 1/6 again. Wow, these are.
Which Kawasaki had 4 exhaust pipes? Because that was only 2, and it looked like a 4-cylinder.
Not sure. But I mean, okay, for more recognizable sort of things we would see together.
Oh,
I have to build one of those. I have built
the classic Vietnam era US tank. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think probably quite a few people. In fact, comment please if you've built this kit.
I want to build it, but I've never done it before.
So, is it going to be like a current tooled Tamiya kit? No, it's not. Is it going to hold up 1-to-1 with some of the other manufacturers? Depends who you're comparing it to. Is it going to be a decent build? And can you buy it really cheaply? Yes. So, again, in terms of current legacy, with Tamiya. I think Tamiya's name is still very highly thought of in the modeling community.
It should be.
Let me just make sure I'm capturing everything from the chat because I'm way behind as always. And then I will quickly scroll back and read some of those comments. Oh my God, so many comments. I'm going to have to
go, Alex, go.
I'm going to have to get my channel members to moderate for me.
Travis Thompson has a great comment at the end. Yeah.
So that was the one we've just done. Julian says, didn't you mention a company you worked for? And you said, paraphrased, why are you shipping to us before the customer when you... Yes, that was Shimadzu, the company I worked for, with none of the... they just... Again, it was the UK branch that was doing this, just adding an extra layer of complexity, which wasn't needed, because all of that was... But if you're used to dealing with Western producers, they had new management in the UK. The story of the company goes, basically, I was employed. I was one of the first, I think I was the first or second person that the new managing director employed, because the prior management, basically, they sacked everybody because there was some fraud and stuff going on. So they employed a new managing director in the UK and got him to set up a new company, basically, to start again from scratch. And I was, I think, the second employee, actually, that he employed. But if you're used to dealing with the Western structures, then that's why you've got to ensure it's okay before it goes to the customer. It's like, no, that's all done in Japan. You don't need to reproduce that. Dave Fairclough says, I remember a kit in the late 70s, early 80s, and it felt like a real treat, and that I had graduated to the next level, getting my first Tamiya.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you were saying, John, right? It's kind of the way
you
treated yourself. Black Skunk Works says, question, what do you think has been Tamiya's bestseller ever? Pink Panther Jeep, maybe.
Well, that's a good question.
That's a really good question. What would you go for, Marcus, if you were going to...
I don't really have a... Maybe the Sky Raider? Maybe. I don't know. It's difficult to say. It depends on the popularity, I guess. For me, Sky Raider is nice.
Yeah. What about you, John? What would you say was the most popular kit?
One of the Panzers. So their Panzer II kit is, they have a Panzer III, an early Mark Panzer III. Their Panther, right? Their early Mark Panther.
Oh, the early Panther. You mean like this one?
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I would have. I agree with you. I think either the Panther or the Panzer II.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's probably the most sold kit.
Yeah,
I mean, that Panzer II is kind of like, it's almost like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Right?
It's guys running around it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy it. Full RRP is like £10.
Oh, it's so cheap. Yeah.
So it's just like, you can buy it if if you're thinking, oh, I'm interested in getting to 131st scale armor, or oh, I'm thinking of doing a diorama. Well, get a Panzer II from Tamiya. It's cheap as chips. If you screw it up, it doesn't matter. You can use it as a paint mule. You can use it to experiment with. If you want to try rust effects, or if you want to try weathering, or if you want to try anything, it's a tenner, and it's got the size. Okay, a Panzer II is small, but it's got the size to actually, experiment with those kind of scale effects at 1/35th to go.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You just do more of them if it's a bigger tank. So I think a Panzer II is a good. Panzer II is a good shout, and the Panther, because it's been around for such a long time, I I'm sure I heard from a retailer that it was the most sold Tamiya kit globally.
Oh, really?
I think that part of that is it's the length of time it's been around. It's kind of the legacy of it as well.
Yeah.
The price point, because of course Tamiya price things by the age of the tool, which is why the Panther 2 is very cheap. That Panther is very cheap as well, considering you're getting a full-size 35th scale kit. And it's been around since, like Methuselah.
The dawn of time.
Yeah.
Methuselah. Zerubbabel.
So just as an aside, so Maria has a very Catalan approach. It's kind of no filter. There's
apart from sourdough. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Which is why I get we get along.
Yeah.
But she was saying at school, at work, she was saying she used that. She's just like, oh, it's as old as Methuselah. And most people didn't know what she meant. You had to explain it to them.
That's school for you. That's school for you.
It doesn't work at like a place which employs 20-year-olds. This is a solicitor's office.
Yeah, but you just
they have no idea who Methuselah.
The thing is, you just don't run into Methuselah. You have to be introduced to Methuselah, right?
In Sunday school.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. It's not like it comes automatically.
That's it. I said this because you're Catholic. It's like, I'm not Catholic. Well, you come from a Catholic country. If you were Catholic once, you're always Catholic. That's the way it works, right?
Well, sorry. Yeah, let's not get into it.
Okay, Greg57 says, I model for pleasure, stroke fun. I don't want to be standing, filling, and emailing for replacement parts.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which I think is a very valid point. And I think all of that is fine. If you want to go down that route, there are plenty of kits which you can pick up at model shows, eBay. You can buy a Mr. Craft kit that are going to need a lot of work. Yeah. And if that's your thing, you can do that. I think it's different to buy a brand new, newly tooled kit and to be expected to have to do that. If it's your choice, it's one thing. To be forced to do it, I think is another. So I think you're onto something there, Greg.
Yeah, I agree. I have never, ever in my life mailed for a extra part or spare part. I've never done that in my life. Never. And I build auction kits. That's what I do. And some kits are just horrendous. Some kits are spot on with extras and extras on top of that. But I have never emailed a Revell or Tamiya. I was like, oh, it's in this part. No, I've never done that. But I would do if it's a canopy, though. Definitely.
So there are there's only 2 companies I have ever contacted to get a replacement part. I don't know whether I've just been lucky.
Probably.
But one of them was Airfix.
Oh, no.
Now, I have to say that the last time I contacted Airfix for a replacement part, it was because I screwed up and I emailed Dale to say, could I get a replacement set of decals because I'd screwed up? And he was like, yeah. So he was very gracious, didn't charge me. Fantastic customer service. But that's going through Dale. So, but obviously, when I built my 124 scale Spitfire, and the next question does come up about that, it didn't have its top cowling, and this is a UK produced kit. Yeah, because it's on a different sprue.
Yeah,
sprue frame M. And luckily, obviously, I did the unboxing of it, so I had it on video from opening the box. So I just said, I know I haven't misplaced, because I actually went back and was like, oh my god, I've lost it. I went back and watched the video, and it's like, no, it was just never there.
Yeah.
So it was easy to get, and they were really good. They sent it out, no problem at all. But it's still a QC failure, right? The only other company I've emailed for replacement parts is ICM. And again, that was because I screwed up. I completely screwed up a canopy and said, Please, can I have a new one?
But at least you're taking accountability. I think that's important. If it's a QC issue, they should take accountability. But you took accountability for your mistakes, and that should be commended.
Thank you, sir. So Sam says, you may not know, but do you know where this new 124 scale Spitfire is being produced? Previous Mark 9 was UK, but Airfix said the Mark 8 wasn't made in the UK. I don't think that's true. I think the Mark 8 was made in the UK. I don't think they have ever shipped the tools out to India, which is what they would need to do. I believe they were still impressed in the UK. I do have a Mark 8 at the shop, so I could check it, but I can't check it now, obviously. But I believe wholeheartedly, I stand to be corrected, but it was produced in the UK, and I believe the new one is produced in the UK as well. We'll see. The whole Airfix Spitfire announcement thing, I was saying earlier, John, that I was kind of rewatching, wanted to make some comment on some of these things, which is difficult on a recording. But I think that's a separate thing, right? Yeah. I think things like that can highlight what we're talking about today. Why Tamiya has the enduring name and legacy that it does, and how that might go on into the future. But I think it is a different discussion. But I believe the new one is UK produced.
There you
go. Craig says the Jeep Honcho, the most redneck model ever.
Oh, come on, Craig, you gotta love it.
Exactly.
Craig, I would drive the shit.
Models.
I would drive the living shit out of it every day.
Yeah.
I don't care. Look at the graphics. Look at the shape of it. It's like the only thing it doesn't have is a back seat, but that's what the bed is for, right? So you just put a roll-up mattress in it, and you park. You park.
It needs one of those shells over it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you go to the drive-in, have some privacy.
Look at the stars. That's what you do, right? There you go.
Some friends. I went round to some friends at the weekend, and she's the lovely couple, and she's just bought a camper van, basically. Oh. It's bright yellow. It's yellow, but it's got two stripes on the front, so it kind of looks a bit sporty. But then the interior is red.
Oh, hold on.
Like, and then you put up, it's like what it's kind of like, it's not a Volkswagen, but it's kind of simple. It has like a hinged roof that pops up with a canvas thing, but that's blue. And it's just like, I said, you just need a green carpet and look like a Fisher Price toy.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, man.
Okay.
Oh, memories.
So let me just done that one, and that one, and
We've
that
done
one. Bryce Me says I hated that Puma kit as a child.
Oh, I never built it. I have never built it, so I guess I'm lucky.
Well, I know in our little Discord group we have somebody who not that long ago, like a couple of months ago, built that Puma, and he said it was a battle. And I think that is the difference between, and I don't mean just Airfix, but I mean I did that AMT stroke, Italieri, the XB70, and that was a kit that fought you every step of the way. I mean, I live streamed it so you can see how it fought.
Yeah, of course.
And so much filler and sanding, and that I think is the feeling of a lot of kits of that era. Even in 1991, in the dark years of Airfix, when they made their 148 scale Jaguar, the first one, as I did the two kits together, the video will come out eventually, I promise people. I keep getting distracted with other things. You can make a decent Jaguar out of it, but it just takes a lot of work, a lot. The fitment, is bad in various places. You need to do a lot of filling and sanding. That was kind of the norm, right? We kind of forget sometimes, I think, how far modeling has come. Because back in the 80s, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, toolings were machined by hand. By hand, we didn't have computers. I mean, there were human-controlled tools that we were using to mill out these great big blocks of steel. It wasn't like we could just download something that had been designed in CAD into a CNC, which would then produce it with, sub-millimeter precision. It relied on some guy, who was good at whatever the milling machines are. I don't know about engineering in that way. These hands are soft. I've never worked a real day in my life, so
shopbuilders.
I'm taking responsibility, as you said, Marcus.
Oh man. Anyway, I'll be right back. Sorry.
No worries, Marcus.
Yeah.
So David Markey says, I would love to get a model of my first bike, a Honda CB200, but no one made that.
Ooh.
Oh, no one made it. It's funny, actually, because I get asked a lot for different things in the shop. And quite often there are models made of things, but it's like it hasn't ever been released since, or something like that.
Real quick, David, my first bike was a Honda Matic 400.
I missed that. Is that real bike?
Yeah, the Honda. So it was basically a gigantic moped, right? So we call moped. It was an automatic motorcycle. It was called the Honda Matic. It had a 400cc engine in it, but it was built upon some other motorcycle.
The only motorbike I've really driven,
CBRs,
was was it the old Honda 50? Like had a kind of front shield on it. It was kind of a moped kind of thing.
Okay.
My grandfather drove one. He used to drive it to work, until he upgraded to a Reliant Robin.
A Reliant Robin, yeah.
Well, the thing was, the reason he upgraded to a Reliant Robin was it was ostensibly a car, three-wheeler, but you only needed a motorbike license to drive it, and he hadn't. Yeah, he hadn't.
Only fools and horses, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, he was out, so he was too young for World War II, but he was in the army just after the war. So he actually went to India during the partition. So he was a sniper, actually. Didn't talk about it much. It wasn't until his later life, when he was in hospital and stuff, and I managed to catch him by himself. I got him to talk about it a bit. But he talked about going out on the troop ships out to India and what they did. That's where he developed his love of cricket, because he said most of the time their job was really just to stop like the two partition factions from killing each other. So that was basically it. So they used to sit around in a Bren carrier or around a Bren carrier playing cricket. That's what they did most days, every day. But then, they all, if they got a call, it's like, oh, there's some trouble brewing. They all got in this Bren carrier and drove off to wherever it was, to try and make sure that, people weren't dying. So, of course, you didn't need a driving license in India to, bat about on motorbikes and Bren carriers. And when he came back, he got a motorcycle, and so it's just he never got to pass his driving test until way into the 80s. At a time when arguably he probably shouldn't have been driving. Okay, Black Skunk Works Bearded Veteran is making one on Buddy Build live stream. Oh, making what? I think I missed the what he was making. Julian, let me know, because I can't find it's difficult to sift through stuff if it's not all commented. Hobby Time says, I think the Spitfire manufacturing is in the UK, but I think the stuff that comes with it, so the new Spitfire is all the bits on it, the resin and the masks are all Eduard.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't going to go into this, but
Oh,
my main,
yeah, go ahead.
my main concern on this new Spitfire thing and the possibility of airfix including Eduard kind of aftermarket stuff with their kits is airfix. Okay, what happens when it goes wrong? What happens if you get a kit and one of your beer barrels is mismolded, or your masks are missing? So then now Hornby customer care, because it's Hornby customer care, not Airfix, have to deal with something that isn't made by Airfix.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a recipe for success, and they're already doing a lot of work. I would much prefer Airfix to just get their QC sorted.
Agreed.
It'd be great. I think it's a great thing. I just worry about the sustainability of it, which again, I'm using this as a heavy segue back to Tamiya.
Yeah, exactly. Very heavy.
Tamiya, if you actually look at the history of Tamiya, when they started, they used to, like most of the companies, put all of their molds were made by other people, right? Their tools were made and by companies that obviously had that expertise, and they were basically, they didn't like the fact, and this is a lot now coming back to Mr. Tamiya, who has just died. A lot of his work was in like, well, we've got a lot of delays. This is out of our control. What do we do? So they brought it in-house. They developed that skill and technology. They brought in the people. They brought in the technology to do it in themselves. And they had, and it's a very Japanese thing, this, to bring it in-house, and then you have control over it. You have 100% control. You know exactly when you can tool something, when it's going to be released. You're accountable for all of the pieces in the whole step. So again, as part of his legacy, that was one of the things that came right at the beginning of when they started to move to injection molded plastic as their kind of mainstay for their kits. Plenty of other comments coming in. Just let me make sure they are all in. Craig says, I have my wife's canary yellow Honda Melody in the house in the man cave. Wow. Honda Melody. Wow.
That brings back some memories. It does.
Okay. The bike I'm thinking of that my granddad had was the Honda Super Cub. That was what we always referred to as a Honda 50. But let me just show you what it looks like. So stop that screen. Share this screen. This is the powerhouse.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's amazing.
Oh, my granddad's had like a big, like plastic kind of. Hang on, let me see if we can. No, if I do that, it takes me to a different screen, and then you can't see it. It had like a big windshield thing on top of it. It was red and white, but it had this sort of add-on thing. It wasn't very fast.
You could make it go fast. That's the thing with
I'm
these
sure
guys.
you could. I'm sure you could.
That's the thing with these guys. You could make them go really fast. That's why I love them. They look like nothing, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of original one, isn't it? This is like a 2017 kind of upgrade, but this is the. I remember that seat and the exhaust, like a big pipe.
It's nostalgia, definitely.
Oh, sorry, I just took you away for a moment there, Marcus. Apologies for that.
It's fine.
So I want then to go back to a a comment that Julian made right at the beginning, and that is really where Tamiya goes from now. So, we've been talking about the legacy.
I might have an idea, but it's all ideas because we don't know. I think nothing much will change. That's what I think. It's very traditional, so it'll probably be a grandson or a granddaughter or whatever is going to take over, and nothing much will change. I think we will still see Tamiya as they've been and continue to do so for decades to come. That's how I feel. As I said, the Japanese, they're not profit driven in a sense like a Western company. They want to keep the tradition of quality, of Kaizen, of everything. It's just like I don't think if they change that, the company will go and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, from my own personal point of view, I think you're right. Japanese companies, it's something that a lot of people in the West don't think of a lot. Most Japanese companies invest in their competitors.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Tamiya has quite a lot of shares in Hasegawa and Fujimi and Aoshima and various other companies. It's one of the reasons the Japanese market is extremely stable, but also if something happens that affects all of them, it goes down very quickly. And you've seen that historically a few times. And
I also think, or I also believe that I think they know where they are in the market. I also think that they understand the feedback. I also think that they understand that if we fuck shit up, we're going to tank, right? Because there are competitors out there ready to kind of nip them in the butt, right? However, at the moment, they're miles ahead. But if they slip, they will go on the bottom side, right? So now I think with their mentality and the way the Japanese companies think, I think we're safe, at least for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next years that we have to worry about. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's like 20 years from now. Yeah. All right. That's it.
Probably not.
I don't really give a shit.
if I'm still alive in 23 years, I'm good, man.
I'm just fucking happy. Yeah. Bring it. Yeah.
Hey, if I can make it to the same as old Mr. Tamiya, then I'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
So, Julian, thank you. The SAS Jeep is the one BVC is making. Thank you. It's a kit actually I've never made of Tamiya's. I might have to change that. Adrian says one of the most indestructible bikes in the world regarding the 50. Here we go. The Honda 50, 1790 were great little bikes, top speed about 50 miles an hour. I don't think my granddad ever managed that.
Well, they can do it. It's not. I mean, it's not the safest thing in the world, but they could fucking do it. Just bore it up, just flatten it. It's like, there you
go. Julian asked, which had the higher top speed, the Super Cub or Reliant Robin? Super Cub. Plus, you could get the Super Cub through traffic, right? Reliant Robin stuff. So this is nowhere to rely, right? And my granddad's Reliant Robin was bright yellow. Okay. And I remember, so in the UK, we had a heat wave in 1976. So I was a little kid. Yeah. I remember because, and I don't know, it was this weird conflagration of different things. There was this huge swarm of ladybirds. So it was it was something about to do with the farmers with pesticides or something, and all these aphids came out, and there was just a massive crop of ladybirds. We went on holiday, and there were so many ladybirds like at the beach you couldn't avoid crushing.
Yeah, but that's a good thing though. Ladybirds eat shit. They
do.
Yeah.
But of course, they're a predators, so when you get high numbers, they destroy everything, and then they limit their own numbers. So.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's a natural.
Yeah.
But the reason I mention ladybirds is because this bright yellow Reliant Robin attracted insects like some sort of, ultraviolet.
Everything yellow. It's just like
It was like the giant flower to them.
Yeah.
It was yellow. It must have reflected in. That must have had UV gloss on it or something. Always covered in them things. But we went on holiday. So I used to live in Lincoln. That's where I was born. So holiday was going to Skegness, to the coast, the east coast.
Yeah.
And it's about an hour drive, right? Along the way, and anybody who knows the area, there is quite a large hill to go up. And we went, my dad borrowed my granddad's Reliant Robin, and we all went in this on holiday. And we had to stop at the bottom of the hill. As kids, we had to get out. As my dad drove to the top of the hill, and we could get back in because it couldn't make the hill with us all.
Oh, the weight. I got you.
I don't know what engine. It did have a 900cc engine or something. It was like ridiculously small.
Oh, poor thing.
Making about like 1 horsepower. So yeah, that on a hot, because we went obviously in the summer. We walk up this bloody great hill. So, yeah, fond memories. I remember we did get like 7 people in it once, which was.
But they are memories.
Like a circus car.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's great stuff.
Yeah, those are good memories.
Yeah.
So what do you think, John? Where do you think Tamiya is heading? I didn't realize, actually, I'm wearing this T-shirt. That kind of looks like a rising sun. It wasn't meant to be.
It
but
does.
Oh, it's all right.
Accidentally tribute. Yeah.
Accident.
I have to agree with Marcus. I don't think so. With Asian companies, there is a cultural heritage that does not change no matter who's in charge, right? And so the mentality, the mission, the culture, it's not going to change. There's going to be a new person that will come in that will carry on that heritage. So I'm not worried at all.
No, I'm not worried either.
It's going to continue to be fantastic. Yeah.
And the thing is, they might pitch a new direction. I mean, Alex, you mentioned RCs earlier. Before
That's huge for them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still huge. They're still doing it. They've been doing it for decades. I don't think that'll interfere with the existing scale modeling. They might coexist in terms of, I have kits that have battery base and all that kind of crap, which is fine because the details are great. But I don't think what we're going to see any significant change in Tamiya's lineup for years to come. That's just my general opinion.
Because I know several people have said, are they just, we've seen a slowdown in new tools from Tamiya over the past few years. Does it mean that they are focusing on RC and they're going to drop the modeling line?
I think
I'm in line. Well, no, I think I'm in line with you both. I think for one reason, which again is cultural, I think because the company started in scale models. It was wood, and they don't do wood anymore. And this is again one of the chairman's lasting legacies about pushing injection molding, going for the quality, taking stuff in house, all that kind of thing. But that has been a core piece of Tamiya's history.
Yeah, I agree.
And heritage. And if there's one thing that Japanese culture is extremely strong on, it's cultural respect and heritage.
Yes.
I think to dismiss the scale model part, I don't think they will ever get rid of it.
Unless
because of that.
Unless they employ a Western dude for a CEO, which I don't believe will ever happen. We're not going to see any changes in any kind of way soon, or any change at all.
Yeah. And actually, Tamiya have, this year, they have released several new toolings, which I think people just had no idea about, right? I'm thinking what's that little French thing they released? The Hotchkiss, the R35? but it wasn't really on anybody's radar. And then Tamiya just like, oh yeah, we're releasing this new tool. It's just like, oh, okay.
But I think that what people have to understand in the production environment is that you plan 5 to 10 years ahead of what you're going to release, right? So you might have the oddity of, all right, let's do this. Let's focus on this for a celebratory or an anniversary, or everyone wants this. But the rest of the schedule is 10 to 20 years ahead for these guys. Because what we're looking at are World War II. We're not talking about what's going to happen in the future. We're talking about what's already existing. So they have already made manufacturing plans. They've already planned tooling. I mean, they are right on the money, right? Because they're looking at diagrams. They're looking at, okay, what are people going to spend money on for the next 5 to 10 years? You know, they're not going to change much at all, right? If there's a change, talk to me in 15 years, then we'll see.
Yeah.
So here's another question then on that legacy, and kind of as you've mentioned, Japanese companies, very stable, very long term. You know, the hobby companies that are in Japan at the moment have been in Japan for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, Bandai didn't grow up overnight. If you look at Bandai's old company, goes back to the 60s. Fujimi has been around for bloody ever.
Yeah.
You know, Doyusha as well. You know, these are very long-standing companies. When you think about American companies, for example, Revell, which is no longer an American company, it's actually a German company. So, if you think about, you know, Monogram, AMT, MPC, you know, all of these ones that have either fallen by the wayside or become part of a larger conglomerate, usually owned by an investment bank or investment group, I should say. Same with Airfix. Airfix doesn't exist as a company anymore.
Yeah.
Part of the Hornby Group. Hornby is owned by an investment company. Revell, okay, it's a German company, but it's owned by an investment group because it went bust. That hasn't happened to the Japanese companies. There have been Japanese companies that have grown and gone by the way.
But do they have to change that way?
Well, the point I was kind of getting down to in a very meandering, long roundabout was, that's all great. They have this stability, but what we've seen in the last 10 years, and I think I kind of demonstrated this in some of my last videos about the 80 years of the changes of modeling and manufacturers, is this real rise now of young, quite hungry companies.
I think that's good, though. I think
in
it's
Europe,
yeah,
particularly in Eastern Europe, but also in Western Europe. A few coming out of America, not so much, but that are employing very modern techniques. And let's use the obvious example in the room, ICM. They have a very similar philosophy to me in terms of everything is in-house. They're a 150-person company. They've got CAD designers, they've got CNC machining, they've got injection molding, all under one roof. They're very agile, so they can do all the same kind of things that Tamiya are doing.
I think what you're saying is
very quickly.
Yeah, what I think you're saying is that we have some upstarters, and I think that's a good thing for the industry, because that pushes the established companies to kind of, oh shit, we're being caught up.
Yeah,
we need to improve and exploit it, or we buy them up and whatever.
Yeah, the free market is good.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's how it is, right? I think it's a good thing, and I think it's good to have an upstart or a third party or whatever, because it keeps the bigger ones, the big game, on their toes, and they must improve. This is in my heart. I'm not saying this happens. I wish things would improve when someone budgets from underneath and say, "Hey, we can do what you can, but we can do it better." And they go like, "Oh, all right, let's take on the challenge," and
Yeah.
So, what do you think then that if you could be a fly on the wall in the Tamiya boardrooms, do you think these European companies that have grown in the last, let's say, 10 years, because they've been around for longer, but that curve is coming up.
It's just,
I'm also going to include China, because obviously we've seen massive growth in China.
I think China is the
far
biggest,
closer home
Yeah.
And there is a long history of, let's call it animosity between China and Japan.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So
They do not like each other. No.
what do you think? How do you think that's affecting those decisions?
So I know what I said before. It's like I don't think things will change in the next 10 to 15 years. And I firmly believe that. It's going to take a company like Tamiya to kind of, I don't think they have the mentality to revolve and then just go to a different direction. So nothing's going to happen for the next 10, 15 years.
It's turning an oil tanker, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, right? It takes 15 kilometers to stop, and then you're going to have to turn around. No. These guys who are upstarts and stuff like that, from Eastern Europe or whatever, they're going to catch up at some point. They are, right? And Tamiya at that point is going, or as an example, Tamiya is going to have to make a decision. Where do they want to go after this, right? Are they going to go traditional, quality, whatever? Fucking do it, man. I got no issue with that. Or are they going to go Western? Let's fuck the customer, put cheap shit together just to beat these guys to the point. No,
they're not going to do that. No.
I don't think they were going to do that.
Because they haven't done it in the last 40 years.
Exactly, right? But I am so happy to see other companies, like you said, upstarts, Eastern Europeans, Western Europeans, wherever they're from, China is going to be a fucking nightmare for anyone. They're going to create what we want, but they're going to do it so on the cheap. I mean, I've had, it's really cool stuff that they released, but I don't think health and safety was involved when they did that. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, so, and I don't know whether and I would love to know, I don't know whether the Eastern and Western European companies that are coming up, companies like Valum and ICM and Mini Art, and there's a lot. There's a lot in Ukraine. There's a lot in Poland.
But they're not under the yoke of the European Union, or they're under war, or they're
But I wonder, they're making very, very good kits. All of those, many of those.
I know.
But I don't know if they're on the Tamiya radar.
I don't think they are. I'm
not sure they are. I think Trumpeter, Hobby Boss, or the parent company.
I haven't built a Trumpeter or hobby or modern Hobbiter or Trumpeter kit. So I don't know.
Hobby Boss, very good.
Yeah, I don't know the new ones. However, I don't think they look at these companies as this is not a threat. That's how I feel, right? But these kits are very good, though. I have some old kits that are very good. It's like, damn. But it's all about money. It's all about cost.
It's funny because when I was at Shimadzu, they actually had an inquiry from the Chinese government about building. We did something called a total organic carbon analyzer. It's a measurement instrument for water quality, right? It's a measure. So if you've got a lot of total organic carbon in your water, it means you've got a lot of crap in there.
Yeah.
So they wanted to buy some TOC machines, and Shimadzu says, well, how many were they for? And it was just like, for China. We want like 1,500.
Yeah,
China.
And it's just like Shimadzu, like, okay, we will build a Shimadzu company in China to do that. Then, like, it was that big, right?
Yeah.
And when they first did it, they were like, well, the factory there can also make other stuff for China, our analytical instruments as well as the TOC. But they were really worried about the quality.
Yeah.
So they had a Japanese team in there that oversaw everything.
Yeah. And I think that's the key to.
But the stuff coming out of the Chinese factory was the best of any of the stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it kind of blew their minds at the time.
So I think what's happened is that everyone knows Chinese quality, right? We're talking about the 90s and the early 2000s. Everyone's like, cheap shit. But China is catching up, man. They're not stupid, They'll take anything, duplicate it, and match or exceed the quality of whoever Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Mercedes. You just there you go.
Yeah, I mean, if there are any people watching in their teens or 20s, my single piece of advice to you would be learn Chinese, learn
Yes.
Mandarin. It will be
you're not
massively
wrong.
useful for you in the future.
You're not wrong. When I was 15-ish, someone told me learn Mandarin or Cantonese. There you go. I didn't, so here I am.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
I learned German so I could understand what they were saying in the old 70s war movies.
Yeah.
No.
And it was, hurry.
Raus!
Raus, mach schnell.
Zusammen, schnell!
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Spitfeuer! Achtung, Achtung, Spitfeuer!
Nein, das ist unmöglich.
Ich bin sehr geil.
Wow. Now, that's not from a war movie.
Yeah.
Well, no. Neither is Ficken mein Arsch, but
All right, you took it there. I will not. I might, but I'm not.
now, as you do it in English, hopefully we won't be demonetized for that one.
No,
I haven't ever in my life, Alex, so we're all good.
As a conclusion,
Yeah, okay.
I don't think we will not see a difference or a change in Tamiya's line for the next 10 to 15 years. And we will know beforehand, 5 years-ish before they do a change, because that's how they are. You know, they're going to be up and about above board. They don't have to go like, oh, yesterday we made a decision and tonight, fuck everything. We're going to go this way.
Forever to make corporate decisions.
Yeah, so I don't think for us old modelers, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
So Andy Bowden makes an interesting comment here. Most Japanese logos came on are family crests. And just to highlight that, share with you the Shimadzu.
Like the correct chrysanthemum.
So this is the company I used to work for, Shimadzu. This symbol here is the Satsuma symbol, which was allowed to be used by Mr. Shimadzu from a member of the Satsuma dynasty because of some act he did when I can't even remember what it was. It was in the company history training thing, but it was basically gifted on him by services rendered, so he was allowed to use that. So you will see the Satsuma symbol is also known in historic pottery because you get it on Satsuma ware. And I was blown away when I saw the Antique Roadshow one. It's like, oh yeah, you can tell it's Satsuma ware because it has the Satsuma symbol. I'm like, that's my company's logo. It's just like because they allowed Mr. Shimadzu to use it, in 1750 or whatever it was. So yeah, it's really interesting. There is a very long and storied history of most of these things, and it is a very traditional.
Can I just have an off-topic question?
Of course.
John, what the fuck are you eating?
Peanuts.
Oh, peanuts. All right, sorry. Yeah, I was like, he had some stuff, and I was like, that looked good.
He also had to get them himself.
I have 3 left, but these are the inferior ones. They're not toasted enough.
Inferior peanuts. You fucking... Just fucking eat them. Sorry, Alex.
No, seriously. They're not roasted enough. So
Craig says, I think you've already seen a change in Tamiya with their move towards the RC field.
Well, they've always been in the RC field. They've always been there. I mean, I got kids older than me with battery packs and everything. So I don't see the move.
They've gone heavy horse on the RC stuff. Yeah.
All right, fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, right? Because I think Japanese companies are smart. So they will go where the money goes. But that doesn't mean they will abandon other things. I think that's the thing. So I think people are a little bit cautious, let's say, in the model making world because they don't see the number of new tools coming from Tamiya that perhaps they wanted. And they see the RC thing. It's like, oh, is this them abandoning it? I don't think it is, like you said. I think it is okay, we're making a lot of money on this. It's a big market. We're going to carry on doing that because that's smart, right? You don't not do that. But also, if you see a lot of their, and I only noticed recently through the shop, this, right? It's amazing what you pick up owning a retail business rather than just being a kind of enthusiast. I got a whole bunch of Tamiya kits in, some of which were for a guy whose son's building a couple of big dioramas, like massive dioramas. So you got a lot of kits. And they're all existing Tamiya tools which have gone back to the like 70s, 80s, like the 232 and all these different armor cars and stuff. But the newer boxings of them include turned aluminium gun barrels. They include photo etch mesh for the.
Okay.
So they are recognizing, okay, this kit isn't perhaps quite up to muster with perhaps like the Hobby Boss stuff or whatever that they're seeing competition from China, because they are going to get Chinese kits landing on Japanese shores, which are going to be taking their market share. And I'm like, okay, what do we need to counter that?
Yeah.
The kit's good, but okay, let's get some turned aluminium barrels.
Yeah. So okay, I like that.
I'm sure they're doing it in-house.
Okay, that would be a great approach. I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give some more extra or whatever.
But again, I didn't even know that was happening until I ordered these kits. I'm like, oh, these all include like turned aluminium barrels. That's really cool. Because the prices aren't much different. They're the same, right? They're like still 20 odd quid. It's like.
So who made the comment about the RC stuff?
Craig.
So
you can get him back on Friday night.
No, don't worry about it. I was thinking like that. Yeah, considering what's going on in Ukraine and stuff like that, so you have the RC, then it turns into drones. Who knows? Might be the next third step into the future, right?
One step beyond.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't mean to stump everyone, but Jesus Christ, have you seen the drones they're using?
Oh yeah,
they cost nothing.
Yeah.
So Andy Bowden says it's always about the long game.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. So I made a comment before. I can't remember what stream it was on, but again, I'll talk about Shimadzu. We didn't measure, the company meetings, the company slides that we got from Japan weren't fiscal year 2022 or whatever it was.
Or they're like
Shimadzu year 125.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was from, it's the 125th year of the company. It's the 150th anniversary of them this year, and I can guarantee
I think
the corporate presentation from, oh God, where were they based? Kyoto. Is it Kyoto or Tokyo? No, it's Kyoto. Will be year 150.
I think it's cool. I
do think it's cool as well.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Who gives a shit about last quarter? Let's talk about the last 150 years. Holy shit. All right, fine. I'm done.
Yeah. It's just like, you make it. Well, it's like investment, right? If you buy any shares, generally, unless you're buying like, stupid stock, which is very volatile, you will generally see a return, even if you get something in its slumps.
Yeah.
It will recover if you're prepared to look at it over a long enough time, provided the company doesn't go bust, you will make a return. It's just how long you're prepared to wait.
Yeah, 150 years.
Well, and companies, and this is the weird thing that if you start thinking about these things too hard, it gets a bit existential because companies, and I've said this before, they don't exist, right?
No.
A company is a concept. It is it exists in paper and material form. You can't go. There's the buildings, of course, which are, but they usually rent assets. Yeah, but they're not the company.
It's not the company. Company is an idea, a concept. Exactly. That's what it is.
And
whatever else is just assets. Right.
They don't get old in the same way that people get old. A company can go on forever because it's just a concept.
I think it's fun.
It's a weird way to start thinking about things. It's just like it doesn't exist. It's just.
But it doesn't make it less true, though. It might be weird, but it's not less true.
It's a legal entity, but it's
Exactly.
not a physical entity in a way
It's
that
a written name on a paper, and then we have the buildings and it maintains. That's just expenditure,
It is a for-profit entity that has a unique approach to that for-profit return.
So Tonka says, Tamiya might not release as much as other manufacturers, but their kits will be fantastic. No sinkage or problems with injection pin marks.
I have to agree on that one.
And again, this is kind of come full circle now back into what is the legacy. It is that, and even if it's not true, right? Even if there are ejector pin marks on Tamiya kits, I mean, they usually ejector pin marks somewhere on any kit. It's part of the process. It's where you put them, how you hide them, how you deal with them, all that sort of stuff. Shrinkage, okay, sink it, plastic does contract, but it's how you deal with that. You can design the molds so that the thermal capacities handle that better, so the cooling rate, all of this stuff, right, to prevent it, to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because the physics of this is the same for everybody, right? Science is a constant. All these things, you can't change the gravitational constant of the universe locally. So Tamiya deals with it in a way that they can manage it, and any problems they have, they've got a QC process to deal with that. So all of these things are eminently doable for any company.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, they have all of that. If they had a kit that did have some problems, there is still this mental image in everybody's mind of, well, the next kit they make won't have those issues. Even if it did have some of them, they've still built up this reputation. And again, for the Japanese, culturally, reputation is huge.
Yes.
Exactly. And it's hard won and easily lost.
Yeah.
So what do you do to protect that? Do you put robust processes in your production, in your QC, to prevent any of those problems being...
And you use nepotism to make sure that you keep it within the family.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I mean, you hire good people to...
I mean, if you don't think nepotism happens in the West, Marcus...
Oh, my God. Wait.
Yeah. Oh, I was sarcastic. Jesus fucking Christ. Really?
I'd like to introduce you to the Trumps.
Talk about the East. Yeah. I mean, pure nepotism. Yeah.
No. This is actually the one thing that I think is that we're not going to see the change. That we have a good family bond coming from behind in Tamiya. We'll be fine. I'm sure.
They're going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah. At least until I die, and then they can do whatever they want. I don't care.
Well, it won't be long for me.
Me neither, to be quite honest. So I heard this explained in, I can't remember where it was, whether it was a book or a lecture I went to or something, but it's basically, it's like you don't die, it's just the world ends for you.
Well, that's a bit of a...
It's like the world ends for everybody at some point. It's just, is it a personal thing or is it a group thing?
No, do we have to have an opinion of death now? Oh, fuck that, man, I'm done.
So welcome to Existential Crisis.
No. You die, end of story. Fuck it. I'm not going to have a wrong topic of discussion. I'm dead.
Well, we're talking about enduring legacies with funerals and stuff. So
all right, fine. You're right.
Craig says, I agree with you saying that it is where the most profit is. Tamiya market share of model kits will have been knocked by the Chinese and European manufacturers. RC part is less at risk. That's an interesting point, actually, because I wonder, actually, how much impact these different markets have had on Tamiya's market share. Because when Tamiya bring out a new kit, do less people buy it because of the other manufacturers now? I'm not sure they do. I think Tamiya kits will probably sell as well as they have done.
The thing is,
before Meng and Ryfield and all of those.
I have to raise a question here or a comment. Just because they would move into RC, I would never buy it because I'm not an RC guy. Why would I? Right? So
it's a big market.
What's the market here? Because I'm a model builder. I like to I put them on the shelf. That's what I do. I'm not buying it to make it an RC and then no, it's not what I'm doing. I might be a dinosaur. I get it. Not my market.
But I think what Craig is saying is, like, the Tamiya market share of the model kits might have been knocked by the Chinese and European manufacturers, whereas the RC part might not have. I think it might be the other way around. I think you're more likely to buy a Chinese RC product because they produce the cheapest electronics in the world, bar none, right? Whereas model kits it's a niche industry, right? I mean, I get RC is niche, but electronics isn't. And electronics are what drive RC, right? The kit is one thing, but like everything that goes into it, if you can buy that at a quarter of the price. So if you've got an RC kit, which costs, I don't know, I have no idea how much these things cost, £200, you could buy a similar one. And because most of these things are made up, they don't actually look like real things. For 50, it's just like, well, okay, I'll try the 50 one, right? Because you've got to save up a lot more to get that 200 one. Model kit, just help me out. On the market with model kits, a Tamiya kit, a new Tamiya kit is what? £45, £50. So what, like $60 or something? That's not that much different from, like if I get a Ryfield model kit, it might be $36.40. A brand new one might be a little bit more. Gecko, same sort of, it's not a huge differential. And a Tamiya kit, most people know Tamiya. Most people coming to the shop don't know most of the Chinese brands. Like they say, what is, and I'm talking about the ones that we think of as nothing, like Hobby Boss. They'll be like, what's Hobby Boss like? And it's less like, well, they're really good. I can show you inside because they got to see all of their boxes, blah, blah, blah. So things like Ryfield, Meng, Magic Factory, Verify, all these things don't register on most people's, most modelers, casual. Let's call them casual, not hardcore. I sound like a PC gamer now, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
All these filthy casuals coming in and stopping our hobby.
You bloody... Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But they would go in and see a Tamiya kit, and they've heard of Tamiya, so they'll, like Airfix in the 60s, they'll buy the Tamiya kit, right? Even though it's a little bit more expensive than a brand that they've never heard of.
Correct.
So, and again,
we do that with almost everything.
Yeah, and if Tamiya release a Panzer III, a new tooled Panzer IIIM tomorrow, anybody who's built a Hobby Boss Panzer IIIM, I don't know if they do one or whatever, is that going to stop them buying the Tamiya one? I don't think so. I think they'll still buy the Tamiya one.
Yeah.
I've got to find your comment now to unhide it. There we go. Casey said this turned philosophical quite quickly. Well, I'm on the stream. It's bound to get derailed at some point.
I think it's more of a manufacturing philosophy than anything else, to be quite honest.
Oh, good save, Marcus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think it has nothing to do with spiritualism. It's more like where can we make most money, and for Japanese people, it's traditional. It's
Koreans as well.
We need exactly. We need to keep the we're fine for the 10-15 years before any change.
David said, "Don't worry, Marcus. We've only got 250,000 years left." So
yeah, there you go, man. We're good, and I'll be dead in a few, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, me too, man.
Greg says he's really enjoying the debate. It's distracting him from getting shit together for work in the morning.
Craig,
you won't thank us in the morning, though.
Yeah.
No. Saturday. Let's keep it going.
Exactly.
Oh man, John, you didn't say.
Oh yeah.
Yearly review.
What?
Yep. They're called. Yeah,
really
P-MAPs,
you
the Performance Management Assessment Program.
How is that going to be done though, considering that you've not been physically at work for at least half of that time, right?
Yeah, tell them to fuck.
So we have performance metrics, right? So they totally. if I'm at home and I've got my computer and I'm plugged in, they know when I'm plugged in, right? So if I'm not plugged in, they know it. And then there's outcome measurements. So it's like, am I doing my job? Yes. And I did it for 5 years. But yeah, I've got a new boss. He's fantastic. But that's tomorrow. Oh, so I scheduled it later in the morning because I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I might be enjoying myself on Wednesday. So I think I scheduled for like 10:30 or something. Yeah, I'll be fine.
That's awesome.
I'm not so dumb.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so we are coming up to the witching hour, as I always say. So, final thoughts, Marcus. What are your final closing thoughts on the legacy of Tamiya?
From my end, I think we don't have to worry for the next 10 to 15 years regarding Tamiya. If they make a big change, we will not feel it for a number of years. That's what I'm saying. Unless they've already made a decision 10 years ago, which I don't think they did. I think we're going to see some great kits from Tamiya coming out in the next 10 years. Enjoy it. That's what I'll say.
How about you, John?
The same. It's going to be great. I don't think anything is going to change. I think they're going to. This is a massive corporation that's been around for 80 plus years, and I'm not expecting any dip or downside to this.
No, I agree with you both. I mean, if you look at Tamiya released the 148 scale F-35C, a modification of their prior kit with the longer wings for the US Marine Corps stuff. Did it sell? Yes. Do people love it? Yes. So I don't see the problems that some people see with Tamiya. I think if they release something, people will buy it. Generally, when people buy Tamiya kits, they are happy with what they receive. Those are the two main elements for a successful business. Exactly. Are you making stuff that people will buy? Do people buy it? Are they happy with their purchase so they'll come back? And I think they're still ticking the boxes in all of those. Adding to the fact that they may not be adding the same volume of kits that other manufacturers have.
That's a different question, though.
But I think that is their strategy. I think they are very much... Tamiya are not Usain Bolt. They are not a short distance sprinter.
No.
They are marathon runners.
I agree.
As most Japanese companies are. The ones, they have had marathon runners in the past, and those companies don't exist anymore. And their toolings belong to other companies. So the Master series from Dragon is the tale of one of those companies back in the 80s. Tamiya is not that. Tamiya has never been that. Tamiya has a long storied history. I don't see the Japanese changing that at a board level.
I don't think why would they change it? I don't see why they would.
I don't either. I mean, the main reasons for change are economic pressures. And yet the world has become a difficult economic place. It's become a difficult economic place for a lot of reasons for a lot of people. They have distributed manufacturing. They have good lines of communication. They don't have problems getting stock into other countries internationally. So they have a good distribution network. It works for them. So I see positive things ahead. Be interesting to see who they appoint as.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we revisit the subject.
I think it'll be family, Just say.
Which is fine.
So a couple of final thoughts from the chat. Casey says, I will always like variety, and Tamiya is having a large shelf in my stash. I do not think it'll change.
No, I agree.
Idwell says, I hope they keep their ethos.
Yeah.
I think they will. And Casey, final words. A Japanese culture loves tradition and cherish it. For example, it's the only place where I can get good quality inks made by hands of it. If you want to watch some amazing videos, look at some of the traditional, like ink manufacture is one. Some of the steel manufacture that's still done in small quantities for high. any of the Japanese like traditional manufacturing things on YouTube, absolutely fascinating. In fact, last night we watched Japanese sweets being made, and some of them are astonishing. So that's a nice little one to end on. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining tonight. I think we don't have any worries ahead of us, right?
I don't think so.
It's sad to see the passing of somebody who's been in the industry and been so influential in the industry. You know, to really, I think his legacy, as my sort of closing thoughts for this, his legacy is really the image that we all have of Tamiya today.
Yeah.
Even more so than his father. His father set up the company, but he really championed that whole dedication to quality, to injection molding, plastic as the main production method for the company. And now the world knows, the modeling world knows Tamiya as the gold standard.
Yeah.
That is the legacy that they have established globally, I think. And fingers crossed that they will still continue that as the gold standard going forward. And that, as Marcus said, we still have all of these like upstart companies trying to challenge that, because that's great for us, right? We
exactly.
never had.
Pushes the boundaries.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Marcus, thank you very much for coming on. John, pleasure to have you as always.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Everybody in the chat for your engagement tonight. It's been great. And we'll hopefully see you on the next one. Don't forget the Stalwart build video is out tomorrow, 7:30 UK time.
Awesome.
Be there.
So feel free to ask me silly questions on why I did what I did. Other than that, have a great night. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Bye.